welcome to the Super R-CADE Show.
Hello everybody, welcome in! It's time for this week's Super R-CADE Show! Yee-hoo!
Oh.
Ho ho! I am joined this week by the lovely Nadia, which is, yep, they're over there. I'm trying to readjust for my new camera position. We're joined by the fantastic Lewis!
That's a lie.
That's a lie. And the always awesome twitch.tv/Totana! There he is. He's reaching for something under the desk. Are you okay there, Totana?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just go on with the show. It's fine.
We are, of course, missing a Sam. He's.
That's what I'm trying to get.
Oh, you're trying to get the Sam? He's underneath your desk.
I guess Sam.
We're trying to get the Sam. Unfortunately, he's actually in London right now. He is supporting his wonderful other half, Deanne, with her university design show. So, miss you, Sam. Love you. Can't wait to get back on Thursday. There's so much work that you do that I haven't realised that you do until you've disappeared, and now I don't know what to do. Thank you. So yeah, it's us four this week. It's us for this week. Quick thank you to the Jez show before we start for the raid, dude. Thank you very much. You go and see the missus, get the baba, and thank you very much for bringing me your viewers. Thank you so much. Yeah, and this is the Super R-CADE Show. This is our weekly talk show where we sit and chat and talk about the world of gaming, as well as our own worlds as well. So we start off the show with a little catch up because that's interesting for you guys. Apparently, you want to know behind the curtain. You want to know what's going on in our lives for some reason. And so not that curtain. No, there's nothing. There's no cat. Is there no cat behind the curtain? Damn it! No. There's usually a cat. Usually just a
Cat's sorry. She had to go to the vet to get her vaccine today, so she's not best pleased with anyone.
Just sitting in the corner, just staring at her.
Behind the curtain.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't make it this morning either.
We don't need to see that. You don't have a curtain, Lewis. No. What are you hiding?
I
anything?
have a blackout blind. And there's the outside behind that. No one wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see the outside.
The outside?
No, ew. I don't have a curtain either. I have a cupboard over there, but it's in the darkness that you can't see, so we'll just leave that.
You don't have the little noodle curtains?
Noren, they're called. I do. They're up there. I could probably flip my camera really quickly up to it.
Am I the only one that doesn't look like there's it looks like they live in a room that actually sees the outdoors?
We're all dungeon dwellers. You know this by now.
Yeah. But also, I would like to point out for anyone that was confused, this is like the annual vaccine that my cat gets. It's not like she's gone for a COVID vaccine because it's a cat.
I was going to say.
They don't get that.
Did she get the Pfizer or the Moderna?
She's not got like a sore arm.
Moderna!
My vaccine is on Friday.
Cats don't need vaccines, so I took mine for no reason.
Which one did it get?
She just got a booster. Naturally, she got her boosters for things like leukemia and stuff like that. But
well, on that, since you're talking about your life, Nadia, how are you? How's your week been? How have you been in the last week since we did the show?
It's been alright. I got characters I wanted in Genshin.
Woo!
Which I assume is to the irritation of a lot of people on the internet because I managed to get that character twice, so I now have the constellation of them. And everyone was spending like hundreds of dollars to try and get this character, and I got it thanks to the birthday present I gained from Sleepy Sheep. Hector's been growing okay.
Ooh, little terrarium.
And his little terrarium. Hector and his terrarium.
That's cute.
Yaldi's in the chat for Hector.
Yaldi.
Yep. And I went out for dinner last night for my dad's birthday.
Oh, nice.
So we went to a wee restaurant in town called Pendulum, which was quite nice.
What kind?
Nerve-wracking
what cuisine?
Scottish.
Oh, okay.
Very traditional sort of Scottish and stuff.
Nice.
Deep fried Mars bars.
You have to go chase a haggis out the back of the restaurant before you start your dinner. Yeah. You have to get your own food.
But yeah, other than that, I really don't think I've been up much. Have I done anything? My vaccine is this Friday, so I think I'm more.
She's getting jabbed.
I'm getting jabbed!
The fun thing is you don't find out which of the vaccines you get until you get there that day.
Well, they definitely can't give me one of them.
The A one?
Yes. I can't get that, or I shouldn't be getting that
Because of blood.
because of my age and gender.
I was trying.
So I should hopefully be
I
getting the
know, I
bad
tried
one
as
because
well.
I don't really think I'm
AstraZeneca?
giving. AstraZeneca's the bad one for women of a certain age.
No, we're not saying it.
Nyanka?
No.
Right, Nyanka.
But I should be getting the Pfizer one, I assume, because they don't really seem to be giving out Moderna near me.
Thanks, Spike.
Moderna.
I got Pfizered. Mesh got Moderna'd. I know Lulu got Pfizered as well. I don't know what Totana got. Totana, what'd you get?
I get AstraZeneca.
Did you? It's okay. You're not in the age or gender group that's at risk, are you? So I think you'll be all right. That I know of.
No, he's in the
mean,
age group. He's in
I'm
the
in
right
the
age
age
group. He's just not in the major gender group. And to be fair, he got it
Tony,
before
you're
the
far
gender
too
group.
young. Alright, no
Yeah.
matter what oh my gosh says to be in that age group.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, it's fine. I'm not as old as Paul Kaczynski.
Oh, did he actually turn that age today? Because I saw the
No.
pop up. I saw it come up. I thought that was
No.
like because I thought it was Colin
No.
taking the
Take
PP.
10 years off that.
Yeah. At least he's a bit my age, to be fair. So yeah.
No, he's not. He's 10 years younger.
Is he? He's a bit.
Well, he's 8 years. Sorry, 8 years younger than what was posted in the
Okay.
Nearly Man
Okay.
Discord.
Okay.
But yeah, happy birthday to Paul Kaczynski.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Paul Kaczynski.
I mean, we might just rip on you, and I think you weren't even watching, but still.
I'm
Oh,
ripping him
he
every
will
day,
have
anyway.
seen.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You can listen to us later on all of your major podcast distributors, except for Apple Podcasts because
Right.
Apple.
If it's Apple, and who cares? Andy, how have you been?
Yeah, not bad.
Oh,
Aye, I'm okay. Working away on the shop, trying to come up with a plan. The levels are supposedly going to be changing in under 2 weeks now, or it's 2 weeks yesterday. So we're trying to make plans, but yeah, we don't know. We don't know. So I'm working to a plan. So I have a plan in mind, and I'm working towards it with the way I'm laying out the shop and setting everything up. But whether or not it will come to fruition depends on that blue man down south and the wee woman up here. Sorry, don't mean it. Nikki, please don't hit me. So just working away in the shop really. Also chugging away on trying to get the new website up and running as well. I haven't revealed it properly to the public yet, so this is a wee exclusive for you guys. It has been revealed to Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, then you would have had the news already that we have been working on a new website. And if you're not, get onto that link that Totana's put in the chat there. If you're listening to this in the future, just go to patreon.com/R-CADE Glasgow, and you can get exclusive access to stuff before anybody else. And some free
Is it really
stuff.
bad that my brain went, we have? And then I went, oh wait, no, I've seen it.
yeah.
So yeah, new website.
I think that's-
Hopefully, will be ready in the next week or so. We will see. I'm working on it. It depends on one company giving up my domain to another company because I've had the arcadeglasgow.com domain for 4 years now, and I ain't gonna lose it. Not happening. I don't think anybody else wants it anyway, so it's all good.
Oh no, we've got dramatic competition who's really just waiting for it.
We do. Actually, there is a French company called R-CADE as well with it, the A at the start. Funnily
Is it
enough.
based in Glasgow?
No, they're French. They're somewhere down sort of south
In France.
southish, near the border to Switzerland and stuff. I think they build arcade cabs, actual like bespoke arcade machines. It's really cool.
Cool.
You should go check them out online. I think they're still a company. They were when I started
We should
R-CADE.
We should make French with them.
We should make French with them. Yeah, we should make.
Let's make French with them.
We should French them.
Oh no.
It's not my job.
Well, that's it. I've pretty much done nothing else. Just think about R-CADE constantly and trying to get things done. Still haven't finished Sea of Thieves: A Pirate's Life. I did manage to finish A Plague's Tale, which was phenomenal, by the way. If you haven't played A Plague's Tale,
Tale.
A Plague's Tale.
Is there an S there?
Plague's Tale. Is it? Or is it A Plague Tale? Is it? I don't know.
Plague Tale.
A Plague Tale, is it?
One plague. One singular plague.
It's really, really good, except if you are Michelle and you have a hatred of the sound of squelchy rat noises, in which case steer away. But yeah, check it out, it's really good. And the sequel's coming out, I think, later this year or next year, so yeah, look forward to that.
Nice.
So Tana, how are you?
Hi. I'm good. I can't complain. Yeah, I've just been getting super been playing a lot more Siege, been teaching people that you don't have to kill to contribute to the team.
It's true.
And also I've been going back and playing a bunch of Ultimate Online-esque games. So there's a game that I've played before on stream called Legends of Aria, where there's a community run server called Legends of Ultima, where they're essentially trying to recreate Ultima Online within the Legends of Aria engine, which is really quite cool. I've also been playing Yo Forever, which is another community-driven server, along with a bunch of other stuff. But other than that, that's all I've been really doing.
Who was Black Skylands?
Oh yes.
You'll find out tomorrow when I play it
There
on
you
stream.
go. Nice. Nice plug.
But yeah, so I have been given a code to review Black Skylands, and I'll be playing that tomorrow. It says
What?
they are playing it,
That's
but that's just because I've already updated it.
That's not a command. That's not a command.
But Totana should be. It should be. Like someone says something, you let but.
Oh no,
Totana.
it should be a counter, and it should just be someone has touched the butt, and that would be,
Yeah, the butt
and it
of
would go up
Totana.
every single time somebody butt Totana.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to say, for counters, we need to go through that gang beasts playthrough and just put a counter up of how many times one of us shouted, "Get off me!"
Get off me,
Yeah.
yeah. Michelle was saying that she had the stream on upstairs on her Mac while she was doing work around the house, and she could hear "Get off me! Get off me!" so much, like flying, like just through the whole house. I wonder if the neighbours heard it as well. It'd be kind of worrying. But,
Gang Beasts is good fun. We should
was
probably
solid.
like have a night where we get the community involved.
Totally.
Um,
I'm up for that.
But
It's 8
other
players.
than that, I have been playing some of those games, been watching stuff. I'm looking forward to tomorrow for the season finale of Loki.
Oh, is it season finale tomorrow?
Good.
Oh.
6 episodes. So
It's only 6. Okay.
yep. So looking forward to that. There's loads of stuff I'm looking forward to. Everyone dies. Oh my gosh.
Is there
Ops.
only been, you said 6 episodes, has there not only been 4 out so far?
Ops.
Spops. No spops, please.
Spots.
Spops
I'll
is short for
double-check
spoilers. So you're not down with the kids anymore, man? Come on.
Yeah,
I
spots.
don't call them spoilers anymore. They're just spots.
Because there are totally.
There's only 4 episodes. There's
Two
still 2
Ps.
episodes to go.
Woo!
What is a liar?
There we go. It's fine. Everybody dies anyway. But yeah, that's just that's all I do. I play games
Nice.
and occasionally go for a walk if the weather's nice, which the last few days hasn't been the case.
Has not.
As I found out so I normally have my window full open, just because I love like fresh air. I don't like being warm, so I've got a fan to my right, and I have that window open.
And the other day you had a waterfall coming down your windowsill.
And both times I was playing a game and I went and took my earphone off one ear and went, "Oh, that's really heavy rain." Proceeded to dive behind my curtain and being like, "Oh, yeah, close the window."
Yeah.
Like that
And then like
twice.
wipe down the, the window ledge and be like, "That was lucky." Because my bed's right under it, so I could just end up like the top half of my bed just soaked.
Nice.
But it never. It's just it gets soaked at night when I pee myself.
Moving on, Lewis, how are you?
Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of
That's-
peeing
yeah,
yourself,
I knew you were gonna like that joke. I've had a week. It's probably the best way to put it. It's been a rough one, but it's been some late nights. But I've been just consuming so much media and playing so many games and just trying to like fill time. So I've been watching a lot of Stargate.
Still, you said you were
so much,
doing that last week. Yeah. What
Yeah.
episode are you up to now? Because there's hundreds.
I'm at the end of season 2, but I watched the movie and stuff last week as well. And I've been watching so much that I hear there's like noises from the show in my sleep. So that's
Really?
not great. Yeah. I'm playing some Sea of Thieves. I have been enjoying that, and I went back and played Dying Light, which is a game that I've started and not finished probably about 5 times. So I just fired through it.
Nice.
Yeah, and other than that, I've been doing some 3D modeling stuff, which is cool.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Watching films.
What was the last thing you were 3D printing? What was the last thing you were building? Because
Right now I've got the Magnum from Halo
that was
on just now. But the last thing I was printing was a gun from Destiny called Malfeasance, which hopefully I will use in a cosplay that me and a bunch of friends are going to do.
Nice.
But I've come to learn that I hate sanding with passion.
It is horrible. Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah. I've got like a desk mounted belt sander, which has variable speed, so I can take it right down to nearly nothing. It's just like a nice slow, which is really good. It's also got 2 discs, so it's got a hard abrasive and a soft abrasive like buff disc as well, which is really good.
I'll show you
the speed it goes up to is so scary. It like vibrates, like it feels like it's going to take the entire table with it.
But weirdly, like I would never be able to own one of these things because as it moves, there'd be part of my brain that just goes, "What if I touched it?" There goes my hand.
I'm working on the handle right now, sanding it.
Murder.
But there's so many little crevices.
Ooh.
This one's such a pain.
You know what you should get? You should get a wee...
Oh yeah, look, metal files.
Metal
yeah,
files,
one of the
some
wee
needle
tiny-
files. I've got 2 different
Yeah.
sets. One's sort of diamond coated style for harder abrasion, and there's a softer version as well. Pretty cheap.
I should get them.
You should get some of them. It gets
but
right in
I
there.
should get a lot of things, to be honest.
I know. I didn't realize when I got my 3D printer how much other stuff I'd end up buying because of it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Michelle's not.
I'm thinking about getting a Dremel as well. But something interesting that happened to me this week is I got fitted for a suit yesterday, and it was really weird. It was a weird experience because I walked in with like my brothers, my dad, and the guy was like bish bash bosh, knew exactly what size we were just from like
Just
our
looking you up
shoulder
and down.
widths.
Mm.
Yeah, like looked at us and then went and got them, and they were like perfect fits. There you go.
I mean, that's the
it was
same.
crazy.
A good tailor, he's
Yeah.
been doing it for so long that you can just look at somebody and go, "I got you."
Well,
You got
it's
your
funny you say that because I asked him. I was like, "You're really good at this," because he like put the suit on, like the suit jacket on me, and was like, "There you go, sorted." I was like, "You're good at this." And he was like, "Yeah, I've been doing it since 1997, which is longer than I've been alive." So,
Nice.
there you
The
go.
other 3 of us just go, "No."
Yeah. And yeah, it was cool.
Forgetting how shiny you are
like-
and new.
Pew, suit.
I want to get fitted for a suit.
Well, he touched my
should all go
butt,
get-
so I,
Oh, exclamation mark butt in the chat, please. Thank
Wait,
you.
did you go to Joey's?
Was it the
Halo?
up the inseam? That's not how they
it's
put
like-
it out.
it was like the waistband was like pretty high, and my dad was like, "Oh, I think the like suit jacket's like too like short," and he was just like, "No, it comes down here," and then he like touched my butt.
Joey.
A little
Fair enough.
pat on my butt. So.
I will at one point in my life, when I have the money to go get fitted for a 3-piece suit. I want a 3-piece suit.
Yeah, I've been fighting
I got
for a suit for a long
2-piece
time.
because I don't like little waistcoats.
Why
I do
not?
like waistcoats. They're so
Waistcoats
good.
are amazing. It's like a mini jacket.
I also think that more guys should know about and wear corset waistcoats because they are so
I could
flattering.
totally do with a corset, not gonna lie. That I've put on sometimes.
Corset waistcoats are fantastic, and they come in some of the most beautiful designs online. You're just like,
when you get
oh
the
my
back
God, they're so
lining
amazing.
and it's
Yeah, and it's got all the so nice.
So I recently bought a suit because I'm going to a friend's wedding, and the suit jacket they sent didn't fit because the outside tag said the right size, the inside tag did not. So obviously whoever's done the outside tag messed up. Fair enough. Wasn't the packer's fault because obviously they're doing a job, they'll quickly check. So I sent it back. Unfortunately, they just don't have a suit in my size, like the suit jacket that I want. And I'm like, do you know what? I don't have the time nor willpower to actually go to Slater's to get a suit jacket, and I've checked everywhere, so I'm like, I can't be bothered.
Well,
So
again, it literally takes like 2 seconds because you walk in, the guy's like, there you go.
Maybe for you, because you're normal man size, I walk in and it's like, whoa, we don't cater to farm animals. But I'm got a waistcoat, I'm wearing my braces, I'm going to have a nice big coat. It's got to be good. It's fine. It's all going to be good.
You'll be fine. Good God!
You're still wondering, looking like the Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to get the bowler hat back out, but
you can
that bowler hat was rather beat up, and at the same time, I've also modified it so it now has horns through it.
You should totally wear it.
Like, I know that one person would appreciate it at that wedding.
I mean, like I know the wedding that you're going to.
Would I just go as Rudibald? Just shave the middle, just turn up like, I'm here to bless this wedding.
I'm not sure how, I think the groom will really appreciate it and some of the friends. I'm not sure how everyone else would appreciate that.
Yeah, no. The groom's parents definitely wouldn't appreciate it.
No, they definitely wouldn't.
And the bride and all the bride's family, they'd just be like, no, please not. Get rid of this crazy man.
I'm unfortunately away. I will be away annoying a child during that.
You'll be in the man land.
I'll be in the man land.
The man land.
The land of the man.
The land of man.
Yep. The Isle of Manannan. Ellen Bannon is actually what it's called.
Ellen DeGeneres is actually what it's called. Yep.
Island DeGeneres.
Island DeGeneres. Yes. That brings it back around. Good. Okay. Should we kick off some gaming news? Should we get this going? Because there's a wee bit to talk about. There's been something big today, and we're going to get through to it. So let's do this. It's time for this week's gaming news. We're going to start off with some news about System Shock. Lewis, I think you're the one that brought this to our attention. What we got here?
Yes, I am, because you know me. It's pretty cyberpunky and sci-fi, so of course I'm going to be interested. This is it's Night Dive Studios, which is the original team, and they're taking on some extra developers for this as well from Fallout New Vegas as well, actually. But yeah, it is. This is a little gameplay teaser trailer on the screen right now for the System Shock remake, which it looks really exciting. I think actually, I never actually played the other System Shocks, but I really should have. I think.
If it's your aesthetic, definitely.
Yeah, so it's always been a game that it's been in my sphere of knowledge, but maybe this will be my chance to actually play it. It looks really cool. The demo's out just now on Steam. You can get it for pre-order on Steam, Epic, Good Old Games, basically everything. It just gives me very much Prey vibes.
Yeah, it's kind of. I've got Isolation vibes going here as well.
I'm feeling Metroid-y a bit as well, actually.
Yeah.
If I move our faces up here, then you can see the sort of UI at the bottom as well under the Super Arcade Show logo. But yeah, getting some Metroid-y vibes off this too.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it looks really interesting. The team behind it have worked on the old System Shock games, but also Doom, and I get that vibe as well.
Yeah.
Kind of gives me. They didn't work on the ID Software ones, but it does kind of give me that. But yeah.
That looks cool, man. Any idea on release yet? Have we got a date or?
Summer 2021.
Okay.
Which, considering we're in summer 2021. Soon.
Yeah.
So probably they'll talk about it in the next month or two.
Yeah.
But
we'll get more
this is the biggest like amount that people have seen, and of course the demo's out now. But previously there was just like a little 1 minute trailer that was just like really not obscure. What's the word when you don't want to reveal very much? I can't remember.
Teaser.
But that's
Yeah, it's a little teaser trailer.
Yeah.
I love a wee puzzle. Oh,
Yeah.
reroute the power puzzle. Always good. I just want to see them complete the puzzle now. Go. Yeah.
Ambiguous keychain.
So yeah, look out for that later this year. There'll be more information as it comes. Speaking of which, I've got Rimworld up as well. So Tana, I think you brought Rimworld to our attention with some news from the guys. What's going on there?
I did. So Rimworld have announced, first of all, to anyone that isn't familiar with Rimworld, it is somewhat like a spiritual successor to games like Dwarf Fortress, even like if you were to take something like The Sims and just blow it up, but also flatten it down. So Rimworld is a game in which you help a bunch of survivors just deal with life on a different planet. As you can see in the trailer, they're building structures and stuff like that. You can, if you want, really take a back seat and just kind of point them where it needs to be. They'll kind of take care of their day-to-day needs and stuff like that, just like Sims. But you can also take a lot more of a, choosing a person, tell them what to do, choose another person, tell them what to do, choose another person, blah, 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 go through it. So there's a lot of building to help them create a civilization or a small town and things like that. You can do lots of stuff. They all have their own names, backgrounds. They can get injuries, diseases, medical conditions.
Oh, speaking of, there's some guy throwing up.
All sorts of like mental conditions and stuff like that. It's a brilliant game. But they have just announced their update 1.3, which along with the ideology expansion. So there's going to be a ton of new content, some improvements including like animal fences, breach raids, beards. There's going to be beards. And quality of life improvements.
Wow.
You can already get access to it on the beta side of things, and that's to allow, because there's a massive modding community for this game, and it's to allow them to get a little bit on hands with that as well. It's been about 15 months since the last big update, but ideology is all around creating colonies with their own special themes. So you can have like minimalist nomads or raiding pirates, mad cannibals, drug worshippers, like everything. You can have pretty much any ideology for your encampment that you want.
Nice.
And it's just going to allow you to mix and match the core elements of a lot more different belief systems, which will just make the stories of your colony even better. I know in the past when I've played it, I really love just like you start having this whole headcanon of what's going on, because you'll have someone falls in love with someone else and then they go, we want to get married, and you're like, I've got to set up this wedding. And you're like, they get married and one of them loses a leg and you're like, oh no, what's going to happen? And it's just brilliant.
And then the evil brother comes along, these evil Mexican twin
brothers.
brothers.
Lewis was saying a lot of the time what happens with me is someone ends up with like pyromania and like PTSD, so they just in the middle of the night get up, start screaming and setting fire to things. And my way of dealing with that is normally I'll set them aside, I'll try and get them help. Lewis just kicks them out
or turns them into a hat. So yeah,
pyro hat. Nice.
But yeah, it's a great game. If you've never played Rimworld, highly recommend it. If you're a fan of colony
builders.
control,
Yeah, I was going to say
and
this is not a game that would ever be recommended to me.
Resource.
No.
Like,
So there's
yeah.
like resource management,
Yeah.
colony management, people management. You've got to sometimes deal with raids attacking your place and everything like that. Like, it's, if you're a fan of the games, like, you know, anything where you construct a town,
Stonehearth,
Stonehearth,
Timber
Dwarf
and
Fortress.
Stone,
If you're a
Dwarf
if you're a
Fortress.
fan of the old Dwarf Fortress games,
Nice.
it's a spiritual successor, and it's great.
Nice. This is so my game, says Daybreak in the chat. Mike, nice. Cool, awesome. Thank you very much, Latana. Nadia, you've got a wee news piece about Overwatch. Is that right?
Yes, so everyone else is talking about new games that are kind of released. Mine is basically just about the fact that the Overwatch League, which we all know about, is currently under scrutiny by the US Department of Justice.
Are they?
Or specifically their antitrust division, due to what has been shown as their soft salary cap policy. Basically, for the Overwatch leagues, or for the organizations that run the different teams and things like that, they have to go with this threshold that equals that they can't pay their team more than $1.6 million, which is obviously quite an extravagant amount a year.
Quite a bit,
But
yeah.
they can't pay their teams more than that a year, because if they do, they then have to basically pay that amount plus whatever extra they've paid that team as
It's
a
double,
tax
isn't it?
to the league.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you pay
so they
double
have to
that
basically
amount
pay that to the league, because they've got to pay their players that amount, and then they've got to pay all of that same amount to the league for some reason. And this is basically a lot under scrutiny right now, because it's essentially discouraging the other organisations from offering competitive salaries, which is why it's now been seen as potentially in violation of the antitrust thing, which basically means that no one's allowed to be competitive with what they're offering people. And this is quite a common thing in things that haven't got unions. So we see it a lot in sports things.
I was going to say, it actually reminds me a lot of...
the NFL and the NBA and things like that have theirs are majorly affected by antitrust legislation.
Yeah,
but now
we've
obviously
seen
this
Formula
is,
1 quite a lot as well, actually.
yes, and this is professional video gaming, so now that that's becoming apparent, and it's more apparent that it's a problem because obviously with these things, there's not a union for the Overwatch League,
No.
so this has to be moderated, like highly moderated at this point. But apparently it was brought up as an issue in like 2019. It was first reported, and I think it was around about the time that it was either Blizzard or I think it was Blizzard that all of what they were paying people was kind of released, and there was a big hoo-ha about that. But basically this came about, and in response to this, Activision, Blizzard, have basically said that they're cooperating accordingly with everything. And yeah, so that was an interesting bit of news, that the fact that the Department of Justice has went, we're looking into you because we think you're basically trying to make sure that no one in the market can look for competitive wages and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I had a
But
quick
again,
look
the
at
idea of
it.
$1.6 million play a video game.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you're talking esports and you're talking big competitions and prize money,
Yep.
and then, you know, passing that on, distributing it through teams to players as well as people who organise the teams, get all the sort of logistics together. It's big money business.
Yeah, and
And-
then unfortunately take into consideration the fact that Overwatch has been proven in the last couple of years to actually be on a downturn.
That too.
People aren't watching the leagues as much. There's a massive downturn in people watching it, and which could technically affect them in the rate of going, well, why would we pay you any more than this, because no one's really. It's sort of potentially on its way out, as is the nature of most video games, is that they're really only about for a certain amount of time, and unless the creators of that game keep making versions of it or keep making something that makes people want to stick around and isn't a repeat of the same thing over and over again, it becomes questionable
Yeah.
how well it'll keep going. So,
I mean, I was relating it to Formula One, but Formula One are doing something slightly different in regards to that. They are putting a cap on how much money. They're putting spending caps actually onto teams specifically, so that there's no advantage to bigger manufacturers like Mercedes or Ferrari, for example. They can just throw money at something until it is the best thing, and then they win everything, and therefore get more money back. What they're trying to do is they're putting spending caps on the teams so that they can't do that, and smaller teams therefore have a chance of becoming bigger teams because they can then win more prize money from coming higher up in the leagues or in the tables.
Yeah.
So spending caps
that's very
work,
similar to if anyone is familiar with the world of marathon running.
Okay.
And like official speed walking and stuff like that. This is a story that Sam would lap up as well. They banned certain shoes.
That's right. I remember that.
Because they were giving people an unfair advantage within the running community, because the whole thing was when you were putting down, it was putting more. It wasn't putting more energy in, but it was conserving more energy. So therefore, people wearing these particular shoes ended up being able to run longer with less stress on them. So they were like, so they started being very strict on the equipment you can use in those things, which is fine because that's leveling the playing field. But when it comes to something like Nadia was saying, when you're putting essentially a guaranteed upside on a team's wages, that's when you start to get into creepy WWE territory.
Yeah. We'll keep a close eye on it, but I love the name of the act from the US Department of Justice. It's called the Sherman Act. It's just some dude called Sherman's like, stop it. It's not fair. Just some guy in the antitrust department. It's like, we'll name after that guy. He's been working really hard. Well done, Sherman. Cool, nice. Speaking of money and lots of money, before we go on to the final piece, I'm going to quickly talk about something that Nintendo was in the news about 3 or 4 days ago, actually, I think. This is before the big Nintendo news, which we were going to talk about in a wee minute. But Nintendo, I think it was May this year. Nintendo successfully won the lawsuit against a website called ROMUniverse, and it was a website that distributed pirate copies of Nintendo games, older games, obviously, like NES, SNES, etc., Game Boy. And so Nintendo successfully got the website shut down, and the owner of the website was ordered to pay $2.1 million in damages. But what Nintendo failed to do, and what the judges in the case decided, was that they didn't get a permanent injunction. And so the person who owns the website has the ability to start a new website or make the website come back if they want to, and they would have to then go through the whole legal process again to be able to get a permanent injunction against the website. So yeah, Nintendo aren't very happy with this. It's Matthew Storman is the name of the gentleman, and they're using they're going back to court because they're using the fact that Matthew has failed to make any payments of this $2.1 million as reasoning why there should be a permanent injunction against him starting a new website or bringing ROMUniverse back, which is reasonable. But the fact is, Matthew is unable to pay the $50 a month. And he
is unemployed.
He said he's unemployed and he can't pay $50 a month. The thing is, ROMUniverse was charging people to use their website. So
$50 a month was his idea.
No, but it's also, if he can declare unemployment because he isn't actually employed or self-employed, then he gets away with it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So yeah.
What if, sorry, I was just going to say, what if he has a loophole, right, where he makes the website ROMUniverse again, right? It doesn't distribute ROMs for games. It's simply a like a homage to the Romulans from Star Trek. It just so happens to have a section that has ROMs for all these old games, but the main focus is really the
is-
Romulans.
This is like this happened to the guy that
pay
owns.
for a Romulan appreciation subscription.
No, it's about celebrating the Romulans taking over the universe. That's what we want. We want
Yeah.
Romulan
Of
reign.
course,
Nobody,
yeah.
nobody
Romulan
likes
reign.
Romulans.
Sorry, that's the wrestler, isn't it?
Romulan reigns.
No, no. I was trying to say this. This didn't this happen with Mega? Do anybody remember the file sharing Mega,
Yeah.
which still exists? I think it's in New Zealand.
Yep.
They,
Mega.nz.
yeah, they shut Mega down, or a load of companies went after the guy that owns Mega, and he shut everything down. But then he just came back a few months later and said it's just a file sharing site. It's not. There's no illegal
Kim.com.
activity, man.
His name is Kim.com.
Was it Kim.com? That was it. That was it.
But yeah, he brought it back, and now it's like the whole thing is like your stuff is encrypted
Yeah.
while it's stored. But I think if I remember rightly, when he launched it, part of the terms and conditions was essentially like whatever you host here, you're hosting under your own, like you're responsible for whatever you host.
Yeah.
We will, if someone issues a takedown notice, we'll investigate whatever. But because it's encrypted, it means that for someone to find out that you have it, they have to have went through the whole rigmarole of signing up and everything to then get access to it. And
Yep.
I think there's something about agreeing that you aren't a federal agent and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's
And
in the
I'm just like,
terms. Yeah.
yeah, and it's just like, this is hilarious.
Um,
But yeah, the long story is just make sure you
Just make sure when you have sites like this that the money isn't going directly to you and you can still say
Yeah.
that you're unemployed.
yeah, just a wee offshore account in the Caymans or something. You know, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. So yeah, Nintendo are trying to push to get a permanent injunction on the website because the judge originally said that they didn't suffer any irreparable harm from this one man and his little website, so that's why they didn't get it. So there you go. Anyway, moving on to the big Nintendo news that just dropped today. We haven't talked about it yet. That is the announcement of. Actually, you know what? I'm going to play the trailer. Have you guys seen the trailer for it yet? Have you seen the whole thing? Have you watched it?
I have.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
watched it.
No? Okay, I'm going to put it on for the stream and for the guys anyway, because this was the big announcement that came out today from Nintendo.
I'm suspicious of the tiny Mario in the corner.
He's just staring at you.
Just that starts with Metroid.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to talk over it because I've just realised that we'll get done for DMC. I forgot about that. Yeah, so this is the announcement that Nintendo are releasing a new version of the Nintendo Switch. Switch Pro, I think people are still calling it, but I don't think it's officially called the Switch Pro. It's just called the Switch OLED or OLED model.
OLED model.
OLED. So it's not officially a Switch Pro, but it does have a few bells and whistles, a few additions to the new model that changes from the original one. And changes from, actually there's two original ones, isn't there? There's the original and there's the 2014 model, or was it 2018 model?
You have the original, and then you had the hardware updated one where the whole point of them releasing it was because there was actually a hardware vulnerability in the original Switch that
in the
allowed you
Tegra chip.
to,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
to boot it into safe mode essentially, which allowed a lot of homebrew.
So there you go. So this new model is slated for release October 8th this year. The same date as Metroid Dread actually comes out, the game that they showed at the top of the trailer. And it features what a coincidence, eh? It comes with a slightly larger 7-inch screen as opposed to the 6.2-inch LCD on the original. And they've changed the kickstand on the back, so it actually is the entire back width of the unit. So it's no longer just a tiny little leg, which snaps off quite easily. There's a new dock, which has an Ethernet or LAN port on it, so you can hook it straight up to your router for the best internet connection possible. It's got a new set of speakers on it, so just at the bottom of the screen there's set of two speakers down there, which is supposed to be far superior to the original, and it also has an upgraded internal storage of 64 gigabytes as opposed to the 32 gigabytes that comes in the original Switch as well. Does the Lite come with 32 or does the Lite come with less? I've forgotten. Nadia, do you know?
I can't remember. Give me 2 seconds. I'll check.
I will tell you exactly right now. Switch Lite comes with 32 internal.
Same as the original. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a few upgrades. Obviously, the screen, the speakers, the dock, and the storage. But it's not exactly what everyone was rumouring to be the Switch Pro, which was they were looking for a res bump actually. So I think this one still only does 720.
720 handheld, 1080 and docked.
1080 docked. Yeah, exactly. So a bit disappointing in that regard. But I don't know. I think it's a case of Nintendo just going, it's not broke. Let's just tweak it a little, and it will still sell.
Well, so I've seen a bit of negativity about this, right? And to them, I say, you have a handheld, you don't need 4K.
It's true,
right? So the 720 for that size of screen is fine. If they were to bump it to 1080, that would be great. I'm not like massively like, oh my god, no. Do I want? Like, I'm one of those people. 4K gaming, not for me. I'm very happy with 1440. 1440, I think is that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Like OLED versus LCD. Like there is a massive difference there. Like people aren't taking into consideration the fact that OLED has much better blacks. Like the blacks on the Switch screen are going to look amazing, to the point like black will actually be black and not a dark grey, and your color dynamics will be it's going to look so amazing. Like any game that uses a lot of color is going to be chef's kiss.
Yeah. Splatoon was the example in the Splatoon 2. Sorry, was the example in the video, which will look amazing.
If you were playing a Switch for the amazingly powerful graphics, you're playing the wrong console.
Yeah, you should be spending the extra money on a Series X or a PS5 at that point.
Nintendo have never been about the best graphics.
No,
they've always been about gameplay and innovation.
Yep. And
that's what they do. The Switch is still an innovator when it comes to consoles. It is a hybrid. It is a handheld / home console. Like, that's amazing. Last thing to do that was borderline the Dreamcast. With the whole
in terms of the
memory
step
cards.
forward. Yeah. PMUs, internet connection.
And the fact this is going to have one of the big things for me at least is it will have an Ethernet port in it, which I know to some people isn't that big. I hate wireless gaming. I hate using a wireless connection. I prefer hardwired. And if it's for your dock, that's fine. Your dock doesn't need to move. Your dock's just sitting there.
You're not sitting with a wire plugged into your Switch, are you? So,
yeah.
I mean, it's something that we come across with Mario Kart quite often in Mario Kart tournaments that both we run and OLL Games run as well. I think John from OLL Games actually purchased an Ethernet adapter for the original Switch dock to be able to use wired internet, because he says it's just a better connection. Obviously, and this is the problem with wireless; it's so choppy sometimes. And Nintendo's online service is choppy enough as it is. We don't need choppy internet at the same time. So, and
it's only 20 quid more.
It is. I know. It's. I welcome all the good changes. Sorry, one sec more.
Yeah, Nadia, you've tried to speak a couple of times.
No, it was basically me just going, the people that want 4K don't really realise how awkward that would look on a small screen.
Oh, that too. I mean,
it would
be too much and too little, and your eyes would hurt. It would not be great, and honestly,
it also, like the battery in the Switch is decent, but like, as soon as if you were to pump that up to 4K, you're lucky if you're getting to it.
Yeah, it's going to be like original Game Boy days. Not even original Game Boy, sorry, like Game Gear days. You're going to get like an hour or two. Your battery is going to be ridiculous.
I think that when it's a problem within gaming communities and tech communities are the best, where there are people within them that don't actually understand what a lot of these numbers mean, and they don't they just know that it's the battle cry. And they're just like, oh, I can't believe it's not got 4K. And you're like, do you understand the implications of having 4K on a screen that size?
Yeah.
No, okay, then shut up. Do you understand that this graphics card you think is the best and the be-all and the end-all isn't actually much better than this for what you're using it for? No.
Yeah.
Think before speak, research before speak, and don't then come after companies and go, oh, you should have done this, when they're the companies that have got a bunch of researchers and programmers and developers that actually probably don't.
I'm happy with the updates. I'm happy with what they've done to the Switch. I mean, it's quality of life stuff. I think that's what they've done
and it means
for.
they're not. It means they're not jumping. So, what people then kind of find as new consoles or completely new things end up meaning that the price point is suddenly way higher. That's it. With this, they're going, we're doing little tweaks to make this better, to make sure that people stick with us and that they can still play these games. The games that they liked from the beginning don't suddenly become unusable, which is more than some consoles are doing.
It's also the fact that Nintendo are always very, very good at avoiding competition.
Yeah.
So, like, you have the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S, and the Switch is going, that isn't our market.
Yeah.
We have a different market where, yeah, there's crossover, but we're not trying to compete to be the highest fidelity console. No, we've got a totally different market, and the changes they make sense. And yeah, they're always like a generation behind when it comes to like graphics or whatever.
But that's not what it's about. No.
But when the games that you get are fun to play, you can forget about graphics. I mean, if you grew up when we did, minus Lewis, graphics weren't a thing.
Had some boxy graphics.
Like,
excuse me. I wasn't born into 4K.
Yeah, you were. You were born into RTX. That's what you were doing.
Your tail's been
not born into RTX
longer than you were alive.
We had a Sega Mega Drive that all the games were in a carry case. No, the Mega Drive and the controllers and all the games fit into this plastic bloody attaché case.
It's a suitcase. Yeah.
You're acting like I didn't have one. All right.
Yeah, you didn't.
Back up.
Lewis's first console was a Xbox 360.
But
He's not denying
it.
You guys hurt me. Right?
What was your first console, Lewis?
I mean, it was probably like
the first one I owned personally, non-handheld, was a PS2. But we had family consoles.
Yeah.
Going all the way back
in the front room that everyone played together.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Just want to quickly point out there's going to be two variations of the Switch when it comes out. I've got this gallery up on screen. There's going to be the staple sort of pink and blue, or red and blue, sorry, version of the Switch OLED. But there's also going to be the grey version, this sort of off-white grey colour, which I quite like.
I like that.
Yeah. It's going to look grubby after a while, though.
I'd immediately put covers on it. I'd immediately put something else on it.
But I like the new dock. The dock has been updated a little as well. It seems to have a little more ventilation coming in through the back there. And yeah, it's a bit chunkier, but I think that's worth it, to be honest.
It's a bit chunkier, but it looks a bit softer, like because of the curves and.
Yeah.
Mine wants to fall over all the time, so a bit more width.
Yeah, it's a bit more robust, but also is it going to keep? Because what was the problem when Switch first came out? Was the docks were bending?
Oh, bent with the heat. Yeah.
Yeah, the switches, the Switch screens were bending and everything.
Yeah.
What I really appreciate about it, I don't own a Switch. It's just not. That's just not something that I feel like I would use very much. But I do appreciate the fact that in the trailer video, there's a guy that just comes home, slings off his bag, sits
in the hall,
a bench,
in the hall. Doesn't even go to the sofa.
He was like, if buying this Switch just will make me have the irresistible urge to catch Pokemon no matter what.
You've only been in the house.
Just come in the door and I'm like,
seconds.
I must catch this Pokemon.
Must. I did spot that in the trailer, so I was like, what is that man doing? He's it's such a hard day at work.
Comes in the door and he's already got it in his hand, and he's like, "Oh, right, okay."
If anything, you've
Yeah,
already got
everything.
it because you'll be playing it. You kick the door down and then just
Yeah.
walk into the living room, still playing it, not
Yeah.
stopping the
It
entire
hits
time.
your
You
child.
shimmy the bag up.
The door hits your kid in the face. They're like on the floor, but you're just like, "I must catch."
Yeah.
Take my bag, child.
Yeah. See, my thing is, I got a Switch Lite because I knew that I wasn't ever going to use it. Like, there was already enough people using TVs in my house that I was never going to get to use
fair.
the whole
Totally
thing
fair.
thing somewhere else. So there was no point.
I just wish they hadn't
Um,
called it a Switch, but you know, whatever.
It's a Switch Lite because it does everything except
It doesn't
for the-
switch. It doesn't switch. It doesn't
It
switch
switches
between
on.
handheld and
It switches
No!
on.
It,
Switches on.
it does switch on.
It does switch on.
Pretty much
You know,
longer,
like
though.
I like it. It's useful. I like having a handheld that's somewhat more useful. Like when I'm at the hairdressers, and my hairdresser is just like, "Why can't the kids think of that to just so that they don't sit
they
there
don't.
for hours?"
They're
bored?"
distracted. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
But the 28-year-old wanders in, getting her hair dyed, and sitting and plays Hades.
Kick the door in, sit on the
The
bed.
door in, sit down.
Color me woman.
Anyway, guys, that's the new Nintendo Switch, which is due out October 8th. Save your pennies, go grab one if you don't already have a Switch. If you already have a Switch, I wouldn't bother, to be honest, unless you really want an Ethernet connection. But
Yeah, let me.
yeah, it looks good. It looks good. I think Totano will be trading in his Switch for a new one later this
Nah.
year.
Nah,
Nah.
I'll be fine with mine. I still have my original Xbox One.
Oh.
So
Yeah, I mean, never mind. I punched mine. Right, we're going to end the show with a little mini game for you guys. Sam, in his wonderfulness, has left us with a few pieces, and so we're going to do this. If I forgot to prep it. God damn it!
Smudge on my glasses.
We're going to do this before we go. So prepare yourself.
My stockings.
Switch cleaning cloth. Also,
Lick
that's
them. Hey, lick my stocking.
Hey, lip them, lip them. What?
Lick them like this.
Rip your stockings.
Yes,
You want me to rip
please,
your stockings.
please,
so-
please.
All right, I'm gonna rip your stockings.
Yeah.
We need to start figuring things out. We need to figure out how we're going to survive here.
I need a better intro for that. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Lost in Translation, a game I came up with, not stealing it from anybody else. It's where we come up with a theme, we come up with a set of phrases from that theme, we chuck them through Google Translate a bunch of times until it comes out a load of nonsense, and then I give them to everybody and we have to guess what they were in the first place. As I said, Sam has prepared this week's one, which I have on screen here. He says put the cameras at the top, he said. There we go. It's called What It Do Baby.
what it do, baby?
What it do, baby.
baby.
So,
What it do? Be?
I checked the first slide just to make sure it works, and I regretted it instantly. So, this is the first time Totana, Liz, and Nadia are going to see it, and here you go. This is What It Do, baby. It's fairy
Sam.
tale titles. Sam has said, with the new Hans Christian Andersen Museum opening this week in Denmark, here's this week's Lost in Translation featuring 3 Hans Christian Andersen favourites and 2 of R-CADE's favourites. Fairy tales, that's what it means.
Sam's favorites.
My favorite fairy tales.
So Sam's put a little fairy
Is it
tales.
just going to be the lyrics? Is it just going to be the lyrics to that Eurovision song, I'm in love with a fairy tale?
Yeah.
I don't know, let's find out. Should we go with the first one? Everyone
No,
ready?
Yeah.
It'll be fairy tale. New
Oh,
York.
sorry.
we
Buzzer
need
noises. Buzzer noises first before we
Oh.
go. Nadia, what's your buzzer? Nadia, as usual. Liz,
Buzzer noise.
Totana.
I'm gonna go with.
That could just be your thinking noise. Don't do that. Okay. Mine's just gonna be. Oh God, I don't know. That'll do. Did you hear that?
Not
Yeah.
really.
Damn it. I have to think of
We
the
heard the
stream would
first
have
part,
heard
but
it.
then not the...
Okay. I'm just gonna go with Sam. I'm just gonna say Sam's name. Sam. Okay, that's gonna be my buzzer.
Salmon?
Okay.
Okay.
Sam.
Wait, here's the thing. How are you playing, Andy,
I don't know what these
for
are.
us to then... Yeah, but then how do we know who's right?
Because then we'll flip to the next screen. Because
Alright, so we all get one guess.
It's a slideshow.
Oh
No, this is right. This is right. Okay, everybody take one guess. That's a good idea. No, I don't know. Here we go.
What?
Snowy. My neighbour had a dog with this name. Tatana. Tatana. What do you think it is?
Is it Snow White? I think it might be Snow White. I don't know if that's a hand against Christian Anderson one, but Snow White.
It was Snow White from 1812. I think Sam's just put a random message underneath. My neighbour had a dog with this name. It has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah,
He's just added an anecdote.
Is that like subtext? Yes.
I got really confused. Right.
It was indeed Snow White from 1812. Thank you very much.
That's
Well
also
done,
the
Tam.
wrong Snow White. Why is she blonde?
I don't know.
It's
The original
that
was
yeah.
blonde. I don't know.
She
This
wasn't.
was the stock images that Sam had access to, I think.
Also,
Okay.
she's definitely not Snow White either.
Got a tan going on.
Yeah,
That's Snow Tanned.
it's like Snow
That's
White.
yellow
but-
Snow White on holiday in Ibiza.
California.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Malibu Snow White.
Malibu White.
White.
Snow. That definitely sounds like a drug.
Okay,
Gonna
number
get
2,
some
here we go.
Malibu Snow at the weekend.
A small palisade.
How sad is it not?
A fence or wall typically made of wood or metal. Hans Christian Andersen.
It's at this point that I realise I don't know any fairy tales.
I know a lot of fairy tales, which is why I'm confused.
I'm
Oh,
giving. Okay,
Ah!
Tatana. What do you think it is? Little Mermaid.
I think this might be Little Mermaid.
It's the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Small palisade? What?
Well, I was just going like, what would small
little,
something? I was
the
like,
small,
the
yeah.
little. So mermaid has probably went through a couple of languages
Ah.
and came out as fence.
There
Fair
you go,
point.
there
The
you go,
Little
there you
Mermaid,
go.
at the end of The Little Mermaid, the actual novel,
Turns into a
would
fence.
not have been that happy because
That's
she died.
Moana.
Anyway.
Moana. Anyway, here we go. Number 3. Growth and bees. How I described getting stung to a doctor. Growth.
My
and
neighbours are
bees.
currently singing Baby Shark, and I hate it.
Stop trying to throw us off. Baby Shark is not a fairy tale. Growth and bees.
I don't know what this is, but I love this title. Like, I would read this book poem, to listen to this song, whatever.
But Sam, I'm stealing that.
That was nine!
Sam. I think I know what it is.
What?
The Hungry Caterpillar. I think it's Hungry Caterpillar. You ready? Anybody else got any guesses before I go?
I don't.
No?
No.
Birds and the Bees.
Birds and Bees from Lewis. Okay, here we
I
go.
don't think it's a fairy tale.
It is. Oh, it's the Princess and the
Princess and the
Pea!
Pea?
Damn it!
Growth and bees. Jesus.
What's the Hungry Caterpillar is not a fairy tale?
I know, but
It is the Birds and the Bees.
It depends on how well you tell it.
it was a guess, okay? At least I guessed. Just go back to singing Baby Shark. Alright, number 4. More ducks! All lowercase. Oh, Nadia.
The Ugly Duckling.
Oh,
That's a good shout.
it's a good shout.
Swan Lake.
What is
Swan Lake.
Tatana
Why
says
did you
Swan
just
Lake.
put all lowercase? In lowercase.
I'm gonna go DuckTales. The entire first season. Alright, it is The Ugly Duckling. Well done, Nadia.
Well done.
Alright, I think
It's
there's one
not
more.
the Ugly Duckling. Right
That is
there.
not.
It is.
Look
What
at
is
that.
that?
That looks like Dobby if you got put in the microwave.
And was made of wax.
It's a waxwork Dobby that's been left out in the sun. Yeah, okay.
Dobby is duckling.
Why does Dobby sound like Minerva McGonagall?
Potter! Potter!
I don't. That was not a Morningside accent there. Oh my gosh.
Okay. The last one, I think.
Last one.
I think. Here we go. Alicia in a good country That was my grandmother's name.
It's like a weird storytelling moment where it's just like, at least she's in a good country.
I was thinking that as
grandmother's
well.
name.
It's like you got split up from your family and you're stuck.
Oh,
in, like,
Oh, Nadia.
Alice in Wonderland.
Ooh,
No way.
Well,
Is it?
I think you're right.
It is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. We'll take it. There we go. Well done. Well done. Congratulations.
like
Yeah.
I was like,
Round of
if you were
applause.
going on holiday, but your parents like left you behind, but their holiday really sucks, then it's like, at least you in a good country.
I hope this was appealing, says... Oh, wait, is that a video? Oh, God, he's actually attached the video. Okay, this might be quite loud. I apologise in advance. Here we go. Oh.
It's not, it's just
It's actually a video.
It's ever so slightly.
and Sam tried to take a picture and accidentally took a recording. Like a grandad.
I think he meant that.
I think he meant that, but I was waiting for him to go, how do I turn it off? How do I stop it?
I was expecting get it.
Sam, thank you so much for Lost in Translation. If you guys want to see more minigames from us, then please jump into our Patreon, become a Patreon member, and you'll get exclusive access to the Super Arcade Show After Party, or DLC, or bonus. We haven't decided what we're calling it. Bonus content, but jump on a Patreon if you want to be part of that. That's it for our show this week. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you to Nadia and Lewis and twitch.tv/Dotana. Thank you guys. We're off to go and buy a new Nintendo Switch, and we will see you guys next time. So have a good week, and we'll see you later on. Everybody say bye!
Bye.